I'm very happy to welcome Ambassador Ronaldo Sardenberg, head of the Brazilian telecoms regulator Anatel. First of all, there's one story that everyone seems to be talking about at the moment, and that's the financial crisis. What's the situation in Brazil?
Well, the situation in Brazil is better than in other places. This does not mean that we're not suffering the consequences, of course, in terms of exports, for instance, in terms of availability of international resources, so on and so forth. But Brazil has shown some resilience as far as the crisis is concerned. And that's why, we are being sought by so many countries in terms of their interest of investing in Brazil at this stage.
Brazil is one of these famous BRIC countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, which are going to be the industrial powerhouses by mid this century or earlier. How important are telecoms and effective telecommunications to you meeting that promise?
The privatization process took place in Brazil 11 years ago. And really the great growth rate of telecoms in Brazil dates from 5 years ago. So in these 5 years, we have treble multiplied by 3 our cell phones. And now we have 154 million cell phones in Brazil, which puts Brazil between the 4th and the 5th of the world. So one has to have that in mind. Yes, Brazil is a great hope. Brazil is a BRIC. Brazil is an emerging country, an emerging market, but also in telecoms, we are a latecomer.
And perhaps connected to that, Brazil is also an extremely vast country with very challenging terrain. How are you meeting the issue of rolling out broadband internet or simply telecommunications to reach all the corners of Brazil?
Brazil is about the size of the United States, a little larger than continental United States. And we have big areas, as everybody knows, the Amazon area, for instance, which is a jungle area, makes about 50% of our land. So, yes, environment is difficult. The whole size of the country is a problem. But we are working. For instance, we have conducted bidding for 3Gs in Brazil last year. And then the winners of São Paulo city, they have to put 2G in the Amazon region. The winners of the hinterland of São Paulo state, they have to put 2G in the area of northeast Brazil, which is not clearly a disadvantaged area in Brazil. So for a while, and then say in 3 years' time, there will be a new bidding, and then they will promote their investments to the 3G grade in those areas. So we're finding ways.
Brazil also has a large population, which is, there are disparities of wealth, and there's a large poor population as well. And I imagine something like mobile phones has to be very price sensitive. What role does a regulator play in making sure that prices are not too high?
Well, this is a difficulty, yes, in the sense that if we accept as a matter of policy, public policy, that this is under the private regime, this means that the state will not interfere. What we do is that when we have an opportunity, as we have, say, regarding 3G, we make certain demands on the winners so that they can share with the country our problems. I think it's very positive for the winners to share with Brazil their wealth. So, for instance, we have a program now, the government has, not Anatel, it's a state organ, the government has a program to extend access to 55,000 urban schools in Brazil with broadband. So, and then this is done with the operators of fixed phones, which are under the public regime. So there is a contract. They will deliver connections to 55,000 schools immediately in 3 years' time. And this will last till their concessions last. This means for 18 years, 18, and free of charge. You see, so this is the kind of measure we adopt in order to universalize access in Brazil of phones or internet or what.